Hello, I'm Shelby Magic, and today I want to talk about some things I would like to see in a possible future Titanfall game. Titanfall is one of my most favourite game series, with Titanfall 2 being one of my most favourite games of all time. For graphics, I would like to see them keep the game looking very pretty like they did in Titanfall 2, but I would also like them to bring back some of the elements that made the original Titanfall look cool. I think that the original Titanfall had a much more gritty art style compared to Titanfall 2, which I think added to the overall atmosphere of the game, because it made you feel like you were fighting in a real war. They could add more details like partly destroyed buildings that are similar to what was present in the first game. Something else I would like to see in the next Titanfall game would be to bring back the skyboxes from the original Titanfall. There was just a lot more going on in them, and they were far more lively than the skyboxes in Titanfall 2. For example, here is an original Titanfall screenshot of the skybox, and here is a Titanfall skybox screenshot. Although Titanfall 2 is an incredibly immersive game, I think this will add to the immersion even more. Because if there are all these space battles going on overhead while you were fighting, it'll make you feel like you are fighting in a large-scale war. For multiplayer, I really enjoyed the multiplayer from both games. I got to max rank on the original Titanfall, and I'm getting there in Titanfall 2's multiplayer. Something that could be added could be two different versions of attrition, because although I do like attrition from Titanfall 2, and how it works in stages by introducing more different AI-controlled enemies throughout the battle by starting off with grunts, then sending inspectors, then the stalkers, and then finally reapers. I wouldn't mind seeing this mode again, but also with another attrition mode that would be along the lines of being called something like classic attrition, where it is more like the attrition mode from the first game. I feel like the attrition modes from both games have their own sort of pacing and speed, which I feel could work to a future Titanfall game's merit if they were both included. Another thing I would like to see if Respawn could keep the next game based on the source engine, like the first and the second game, is official mod support. This will definitely prolong the life of the game, especially if they add the feature of custom modded servers as well. This could allow the community to create their own maps and tweak the movements of players. In the next Titanfall game, it would be cool to see the guns still keep the same level of power, because it made each gun feel potent and useful while you were using it. This does make the time to kill faster than the original Titanfall game, but I feel this makes the multiplayer feel way more faster and exciting. I hope that in a future Titanfall game that Respawn can continue to add more weird and crazy guns that are fun to use. In my opinion, I feel like the map design is generally pretty well done in the original Titanfall and Titanfall 2, except for standout maps like Crash Site, where it is incredibly unbalanced because of very bad location for pilot spawns. It would be great in a future Titanfall game to have maps return from both of the previous games like they did with the original Titanfall maps in Titanfall 2. It would also be good to see more maps like Boomtown, Glitch, and Rise. These maps are incredibly well designed and all play extremely well, so it would be good to see if Respawn could make more maps that follow the formula of these maps by having tight lanes and plenty of spots to hide while also keeping them nice and open. Something else I would like to see added would be LAN functionality. I just think it would be convenient to have it, and that if the future servers were to shut down, they could be revived in a similar way to how the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 was. Another thing that I think will help the multiplayer would to not release the game in between two of the biggest giants of gaming, like what happened with Titanfall 2 being released in between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which heavily hindered the sales of the second game, making the player count very low. The best time to release the next Titanfall would probably be on Battlefield's off year, so they don't have to compete with Battlefield, and release it further enough away from Call of Duty so that it can have people actually buy the game and get into the multiplayer. In Titanfall 2, I feel like the pilot customization is overall pretty good, but it would be great to see more customization options with Titans. I really like how in the original Titanfall with the custom Titans, your Titan really felt like your own, because you had created it and added the weapons and kit that you wanted to it. I think for a future Titanfall game, they could keep the class system from Titanfall 2, but add different guns and a kit for each class so that the player can make their own Titan more unique and can tailor it to their own playstyle. I thought Titanfall 2's campaign was excellent. The story was great, the music was very well done, the level design was amazing, and the mechanics were very fun to use. I want more of this, and I hope that a future Titanfall could continue this. I want the next campaign to continue the story of Jack Cooper and follow him on another adventure that can be set after Titanfall 2's campaign. What I feel like with a video game campaign is if it is short but good quality campaign, I don't mind, and Titanfall 2's campaign was definitely quality, but I wouldn't mind it being just a little bit longer. All in all, I hope that the poor sales of Titanfall 2 don't discourage Respawn and EA from developing another game in the series, and I am very excited to see the way that the Titanfall series goes next. Thanks for watching.